Hello everyone, today I am going to take the practical of blood group. As we already know, blood groups are genetically determined. Karl Landsteiner, who described the most common blood group system ABO and RH system based on the antigen present in the RBCs. There are more than 30 blood group systems present in human blood containing more than 400 antigens. Blood group systems are based on antigen and antibodies. Antigen are also known as agglutinogen and antibodies are also known as agglutinins. Antigens are the substance made up of polysaccharide and they are present over the cell membrane of the RBCs, while antibodies are made up of immunoglobulins. They are produced naturally when comes in contact with an antigen. Antibodies mainly remain in plasma. These immunoglobulins are formed by gamma globulin. As we already know, the blood has two components, cellular and plasma. Plasma has plasma proteins, albumin, globulin and fibrinogen. Among them, globulin has three subunits, alpha, beta and gamma. Gamma globulins forms immunoglobulins. Now, major blood group system are ABO and RH, which we commonly use. And minor blood group system are Kell, MNS, Duffy, Lee, Lewis, and many other. Among them, MNS system is used for paternity dispute issues. Like we can say who is not the father of child by MNS system. Now, if A antigen is present on the cell membrane of RBC, that blood group would be A. And A blood group has antibody B in its plasma. If antigen B is present on the cell membrane of RBC, blood group would be B. And antibody A will be present in the plasma. Then, if both antigen A and B are present, blood group would be AB. So, there will be no antibody in the plasma. If neither A nor B antigen are present in the cell membrane of RBC, the blood group would be O. O blood group has both antibody A and B, that means alpha and beta in its plasma. In the Indian population, the distribution of ABO blood group is as follows. 28% population is having A blood group, 22% is having B blood group, 5% is having AB blood group, and 45% population is having O blood group. Now RH system. The RH antigen was first discovered from the rhesus monkeys. That is why the name RH is given. There are total 6 antigen included in the system, capital C, capital D, capital E, and small c, small d, and small e. Among them, capital D antigen is found in majority of population. Based on presence of D antigen, the blood group are of two types. RH positive, that means D antigen is present, and RH negative, that means D antigen is absent. In the Indian population, 95 to 98% are RH positive, while 2 to 5% are RH negative. For example, if you are given blood group A positive, here the A positive is a combination of ABO and RH system. That means A antigen and RH antigen both are present in the cell membrane of the RBC, while antibody B is present in the plasma. Here the sign positive denotes presence of RH antigen. A positive, that does not mean A antigen is present, that means A antigen and D antigen both are present. If a person's blood group is A negative, then he is having only A antigen in the RBC and antibody B is present in the plasma. Now comes the most important law, that is Karl-Landsteiner's law. When any antigen is present on the cell membrane of the RBCs, the corresponding antibody must be absent in the plasma. For example, if you are given blood group A, then its corresponding antibody alpha must be absent in its plasma. Vice versa of this law is also true for the ABO blood group system. If antibody beta or antibody B is present in the plasma, then antigen B must be absent in the cell membrane of RBCs. For Rh system, only upper portion of this law is applicable. Now, what happens when any antigen and its corresponding antibody both are present in the sufficient amount in the same medium? Then it will lead to destruction of RBC due to antigen-antibody reaction. It will cause clumping of RBCs, which leads to hemolysis of RBC. Here you can see the A antigen, B antigen and Rh antigen and its antibody binding site. In the second figure of your right hand, you can see the particular antibody binds with its particular antigen binding site. Now, antigen A and B are naturally present in the food. So, whenever the infant starts supplementary feeding, they are exposed to the antigen. And we know antibody production starts whenever exposure of the antigen occurs. So, antibody will be produced in the body after 12 months of age naturally. Antibody A and B are of IgM type, so they cannot cross the placenta. Remember, immunoglobulins are of 5 types: IgG, IgA, IgM, IgD, and IgE. Among them, antibody A and B are of IgM type. They are larger in size, while antibody D are made up of immunoglobulin G type of immunoglobulins. They are smaller in size and easily cross the placenta. But they are naturally not formed due to absence of contact with the antigen. Whenever the contact occurs, this leads to a very important clinical condition called erythroblastosis fetalis. Erythroblastosis fetalis or hemolytic disease of newborn. When Rh negative mother gives birth to Rh positive fetus, no complication occur during first pregnancy, but the Rh antigen comes in contact with maternal blood at the time of delivery and production of Rh antibody starts in mother. It takes 2 to 3 months to develop. At that time, delivery of the first fetus occurs normally, while during second delivery, when the fetus is Rh positive, the antibody produced in mother will cross the placenta. Now, due to Rh incompatibility in fetus, the antigen-antibody reaction occur and all the RBCs of the fetus are destroyed, causing hemolysis of RBC. This also causes jaundice, acute renal failure, and edema in the fetus. Prevention of this condition by giving anti-D immunoglobulins after first delivery. It will neutralize the antibody in maternal blood. So the antibodies are neutralized and during second delivery there will be no complication. Is ABO incompatibility possible between mother and child? Suppose mother is having blood group A and fetus is having blood group B. So, what if the antibody B present in the plasma of mother can transform into fetus? No, it is not possible because antibody A and antibody B are of IgM type. They cannot cross the placenta, so there is no possibility of an ABO incompatibility between mother and child. Now, physiological and clinical significance of blood group. Why do we need to perform uses of blood group to ensure compatible blood transfusion. Prior giving any blood transfusion, we must determine the blood group. To eliminate hemolytic disease of newborn due to Rh incompatibility in mother and child, to solve the paternity dispute, to detect susceptibility to various diseases, and to detect personality. Now, indication of blood transfusion: acute blood loss, chronic anemia, thalassemia, and postpartum hemorrhage. Before giving any blood transfusion, we perform a procedure called cross-matching. Here, blood is collected from donor and the recipient. Plasma and red cells are separated from each other in both donor and recipient. Then, donor cells are mixed with recipient plasma. This is called major cross-matching. While recipient cells are mixed with donor's plasma, this is called as minor cross-matching. Why do we require this cross-matching? To eliminate any mismatch reaction due to other minor blood group system. After this cross-matching, if there is no agglutination in either of the described condition earlier, recipient can safely receive donor's plasma. Although we know the blood group of donor and recipient, the cross-matching is done prior to any blood transfusion. Now, hazards of blood transfusion. It can cause superficial vein thrombophlebitis, acute renal failure. When any mismatched blood is transfused, it will lead to hemolysis of the RBCs. So, the hemoglobin cast will block the renal tubules, which leads to acute renal failure. Then, cardiac arrest. If you give more than 10 units of BT, it will cause hyperkalemia and ultimately it will lead to cardiac arrest. Then, chances of spreading infection are high, like HIV, HPS-AG, syphilis, malaria. Then, kernicterus. It is the deposition of bile pigment in basal ganglia. It is seen in infant due to immature blood-brain barrier. Bile pigment can easily cross the barrier and deposit in the basal ganglia. Now comes the universal donor and universal recipient. As we already know, universal donor is O negative blood group because it has no antigen, and the recipient is AB positive. Can we give O negative blood to the AB positive person? Will the antigen present in recipient blood not cause antigen antibody reaction? O negative person has antibody A, antibody B, and antibody D, while AB positive has all these antigens. So, won't it cause any mismatch reaction? Well, we are going to give only 1 unit of blood transfusion, which is around 400 ml of blood, and the AB positive person has approximate 3 to 4 liter of blood in its body. So the antibodies present in O negative blood will be in less amount comparing to AB positive person's blood. So it will get diluted in recipient blood and it won't cause any mismatch reaction. What if we do vice versa of the earlier condition? Can O negative person receive blood from AB positive person? No, because AB positive person has antigen A, B and D. All this antigen when given in O negative person, there is already antibody formed in the O negative person which will cause massive antigen antibody reaction. Now, Bombay blood group. In this group, they do not express the capital H antigen. For A and B antigen, we require capital H antigen, for its presentation. So here in Bombay blood group, there will be small h antigen instead of capital H. As a result, they cannot form A and B antigen on their RBC. So it looks like O blood group, but actually it is not. Thus, they can donate blood to anyone in ABO group, while they can only receive the blood from Bombay blood group. It was discovered in Bombay. Now, let's see the practical aspect. There are various methods for this practical to perform. For example, tube method, tile method, slide method. Among them, we are going to use force slide method in our lab. The red cells of the subject are allowed to react with commercially made agglutinins. The presence or absence of the clumping of red cell in different agglutinin determines the blood group. If any particular antigen is present in the blood, so it will react with its particular antibody and clumping is seen. So it determines the presence of antigen. Now what we will require? We will require antisera A, antisera B, antisera D, 4 glass slide, a Wassermann's tube and normal saline. We will take 1.5 ml of normal saline in a Wassermann's tube and add 2 to 3 drops of blood into it to obtain a cell suspension. Here, normal saline is used to dilute the blood, so the Rolex formation can be reduced. After that, we will put 4 slides under white background and label them A, B, C and D. Now, we will put antisera A over slide A, antisera B over slide B and anti-D over slide D. Now we will add a drop of cell suspension in all the 4 slides and mix them. Then we will wait for 5 minutes. Here, precautions to be taken while mixing the blood cell suspension and antisera. Then, after 5 to 10 minutes, we will observe the slide for agglutination or clumping of RBCs. Here slide C is used as a control slide. We can compare the agglutination with slide C, which shows Rolex formation of RBC. And we can also confirm our finding under low power microscope. Now we will see a video showing the practical. The video courtesy belongs to Dr. Hardik Mistry. Here, the apparatus will require pricking apparatus, 4 clean glass slide, normal saline, small test tube, dropper, and antisera A, anti-B, and anti-D. After that, first of all, we will fill the half of the Wassermann's tube or small test tube with normal saline. After that, we will prick in the ring finger of the non-dominant hand with all the aseptic precautions. Now we will add 2 to 3 drops of blood in the test tube containing normal saline. After that, we will take 4 clean glass slides and mark them A, B, C and D and put them under white background. Now we will put 1 drop of antisera solution anti-A, anti-B and anti-D in A, B and D slide respectively. Here anti-A is of blue color, anti-B of yellow color and anti-D is colorless but having a cap of red color. This is the universal color coding for antisera. Now with the help of dropper or pipette, we will add 1 drop of normal saline plus blood solution in all the slide. Over slide A, slide B, slide C and slide D. After that, we will gently shake the slide and wait for 10 minutes. We will look for agglutination. If dust particle appear, then it's agglutination. Here you can see in slide A, there is dust-like particle. Also in slide B and slide D. If agglutination is present in slide A, that means A antigen is present and it reacted with anti-sera A. So antigen antibody reaction occur, and that is why agglutination is seen in slide A. So the blood group is having A antigen. Also agglutination is also seen in B slide. So B antigen is also present and D antigen is also present. So our blood group will be having antigen A, antigen B and antigen D. So blood group is AB positive. Positive denotes presence of antigen D. Here you can see the difference between agglutination and Rolex formation. Agglutination is seen like dust-like particles, while Rolex formation is seen diffusely in the medium. Here is the final interpretation of our practical. Agglutination present over slide A, slide B and slide D. In the slide C, you can see Rolex formation, which is used as a control to differentiate between agglutination or Rolex formation. Now, if you see clumping present in slide A, that means blood group is A. If you see clumping in slide B, that means blood group is B. If you see clumping in both slide A and B, then blood group would be AB. If you do not see any agglutination in slide A or slide B, that means your blood group is O. If you see agglutination present in slide D, that means blood group is positive. And if clumping is absent in slide D, that means blood group is negative. Thank you.